Come, listen closely. It's almost the hour to dream. For when clocks' hands they meet, you can suddenly see the unseen. And here lives worlds between waking and sleeping, rich in the secrets they're keeping, quiet for midnight is creeping close. Now look, there's a princess trapped in a tower above the sea. Her love is the master of dreams, but he's not royalty. And songbirds fly above tenderly singing. What are these gifts they are bringing? Well, they help the princess from the fire that burns, while an evil magician steals hearts from the flowers to fly above. The mermaids who sing songs in hopes of ensnaring true love. Quiet, and I'll tell the tale of the farmer if you'll believe me, for these are the facts that exist in our sweet fantasy. And quiet, you do not want to awake the giant asleep in his cave, or scare the brave bunny who's trying to save the world. Now look at the clock go. It's almost the window for the midnight radio show. It's the midnight radio show. You're listening to Midnight Radio Show. It's always midnight somewhere in the vasty endlessness of space. And here we are. And now, let us have a fairy tale from the fantastical galaxy. This is the story of the dragon's laugh. Once upon a time, far away to the east, there was a hollow where a tribe of fairies lived. One of them was named Val. Life was good. The fairies frolicked and danced. Fat baby unicorns galloped through the fields. In the lagoon nearby, mermaids swam, and splashed. Val's mama was the queen of the fairies, and so Val was actually a princess. One day, Val was walking alone through the fields when high overhead she saw the most beautiful creature flying. It was not a bird. It was not a fairy. It was a dragon. Val followed the dragon. She followed the dragon all the way back to the mountains. And the cave where the dragon lived. Aren't you afraid of me? Why, no, I think you are quite magnificent. Dragons and fairies are not supposed to be friends, but Ajigar, that was the dragon's name, and Val, the fairy, found that they would like to be very good friends indeed. They passed away a lovely afternoon, laughing and telling each other stories and jokes. Ajigar, the dragon, had a low, rumbly, soulful voice, and she sang to her new friend, the fairy. Lean into the light. Oh, dear, there's music you're hardly hearing. Trees lean into the clearing. Please be like a tree. Lean into the light. Oh, dear, you'll feel in your every leaf brand new hues you'd never choose. But now, how can you refuse? Lean into the light. Oh dear, those shadows are prone to blind you. This brightness is blinding, mind you. But a different kind, you'll get back your sight. Even stronger once your eyes adjust. So just sit tight, lean into the light. Lord, I was staggering under the weight of the stars in the widening sky. Show me the way that you dance through the light. Show me the way that you fly. into the light. Oh dear, the sky is a mile-wide blanket. Don't carry it, only thank it for the warmth it brings. You don't have to wait for the stars to fall all around your feet. Just appreciate the light. Lean into the light. There's so much, it's hard to believe it. Don't carry it, only breathe it. And when you leave, let it float on the breeze. You know that we might never meet again in the same place, but we'll always share the light. Lord, I was staggering under the weight of the stars in the widening sky. Show me the way that you dance through the light. Show me the way that you fly. And so it happened that as Ajagar and Val were sitting, talking, and laughing, that all of a sudden, Ajagar felt a sneeze coming on. She took a couple quick, short breaths, and then all of a sudden, she couldn't help it. A great big burst out of her mouth with a little spurt of flame, which singed the fairy's wings. Ouch! Oh gosh! Oh no! Look at your wings! I'm so sorry. I just had to sneeze. Oh wow, that really hurt. Well, you know what? I know it was an accident. It's just a sneeze. You can't help it. And I really must be going though. It's almost supper time. Bye! And away she flew. She flew all the way home to her own little hollow where the fairies live. But as soon as she arrived, her mama, the queen of the fairies, saw her burned wings, and of course, she asked her about it. Since dragons and fairies are not supposed to be friends, Val did not want to admit to her mama, the queen of the fairies, that she had been spending time with a dragon. And so she simply said, I fell down the stairs and flew away at once. This was a very unconvincing lie. And lies, as we all know, are useless things, especially among mystical creatures and parents. The queen called one of her fairy friends to follow the princess and find out what sort of mischief she was up to. And sure enough, Val flew right back to the mountains and the cave, the home of her new best friend. And so dragon and fairy passed away another lovely afternoon, telling each other jokes and stories and teaching each other songs. They were completely unaware that they were observed. And sure enough, The fairy spy flew right back to fairyland and told the queen all about it. And so she waited outside the cave. And when Ajigar emerged, the queen of the fairies waved her magical fingertips into the air and did a great big enchantment. Poof! That turned Ajigar into a snake. Oh no! Oh gosh, look at me! My shape and my wings and my fire and fire. Oh, and listen to my voice. What's going on with us? Sure enough, when the dragon lost her shape and her fire, she also lost her low, rumbly, soulful singing voice. This is terrible! Woe is me! Calm down. We shall fix you right up. We'll go on a quest. We must ask someone very old what to do, for they have seen many things, and if they were paying attention, they must know a great many things by now, too. But I can't even go anywhere. I can't even fly. I can carry you. Well, no, I suppose I'll just slither along. And so the dragon, in the shape of a snake, and the fairy set out. They walked and slithered and walked until finally they reached the mysterious lake, the home of the coelacanth, the oldest fish in all the world. They told the coelacanth their whole story, and the coelacanth listened patiently until they were through. It seems to me that fairy magic is how you got yourselves into this mischief in the first place, and so fairy magic is the way to get back out of it again. You must go to the FGA. It is at the top of the very tall mountain. Be sure you do not come empty-handed, for they will expect a gift for their assistance. One other comfort I can offer you. I see you are wounded. Come and bathe in my water, for my lake has magical healing properties. And with that, and a flip, sparkle, splash, he was gone. And so thou waded out into the waters of the mysterious lake. And when she emerged, her wings were healed. Well, that's great. Now you can carry me. But I thought that you preferred to slither. Oh, no, I hate slithering. It was just that I didn't think your poor wounded wings could handle the extra weight. But now that you're all better, let's go. All right, hop on. And so the friends flew off in search of a gift to present to the FGA. They flew until they reached the gates of the enchanted forest. If there's any place to find a good gift for the FGA, this has got to be it. And here, what a wealth of blooms and blossoms. The two friends wandered the enchanted garden, smelling and admiring and complimenting every flower they encountered, until finally they found the flower, the perfect flower to present as a gift to the FGA. It was sweet and silly and full of humor and hope, much like their friendship. And so they took the flower and left a lock of the fairy's hair and a scale from the dragon, who was now in the shape of a snake as a thank you gift to the spirits of the place. And away they flew until finally they reached the very tall mountain. They flew right on up to the very, very tippy top, and here they saw the plaque, so they knew they were in the right place. It said Fairy Godmother Association, so there could be no mistaking it. And here, the fairy godmothers. Ajigar and Val told the fairy godmothers their whole story over again, and they laughed and twittered, but they agreed to help. And I see you brought us a gift, eh? Hand over that gorgeous flower. The fairy godmothers passed the flower among them and sniffed it and admired it and complimented it, and then they handed it back to Ajigar. You may as well eat it, darling. And so she did. Gobble, 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 gobble. And all of a sudden, poof! Oh my goodness, my wings and my shape. Oh, and my fire. Yes, my fire. Oh, and listen to my voice. Thank you, fairy godmothers. Just a few more things, darling. Why don't you cover your mouth when you sneeze? And so the fairy godmothers presented Ajigar with a magical hanky that was flame-proof, especially designed for dragons who did not want to be troublemakers. Thank you so much. Is there anything we can do to repay you? Well, funny you should say such a thing. In fact, there is. Val, you lied to your mama, and she is the queen of the fairies after all. Although she wronged your friend, she only did so to try and protect you. Can you both see that now? Val and Ajigar agreed that they could. So, my darlings, go and make peace. That's how we can have a party. Poof. And so Ajigar and Val flew all the way back to the fairy hollow. Val presented Ajigar to her mama, the queen of the fairies. And Ajigar was very polite and kept her hanky on hand just in case she should feel a sneeze coming on. And finally, everyone began to relax just a little bit and remember who they were when they weren't so distracted by the thought of someone new among them. And then Ajigar sang with her deep, rumbly, soulful dragon voice, and the fairies frolicked and danced and sang along. And they all had an excellent and wonderful time. If you want to let the sun in, you got to open up those curtains, and pretty soon you'll see the light come in and brighten up your floor. Pretty soon you feel like dancing, maybe some romancing. Pretty soon the blues will pack right up and march right out your door. Now you can sing most anything, babe, don't be afraid. And you will see when you are free all the lovely changes your joy has made. Shake that caboose. You gotta let your heart loose. You gotta let the outside in and not be blue no more. Now move those hips and soon your lips will easily start to rise. And pretty soon, that happy tune will be in everybody else's eyes once you begin to let a little of that outside in. Pretty soon the blues will pack right up and march right out. They'll pack right up and march right out. They'll pack right up and march right out your door. Thank you so much, you guys. Shout out to my live studio audience, just my family and the dog somewhere. And a big thank you to the Gene Frankel Theater and to all of the makers of Midnight Radio Show, including our amazing composers who wrote the music that you heard today, Ezra Bloom and Sabrina Chap. And if you didn't get the memo, we are asking, please don't send me any tips. I know you had so much money that you wanted to put in my virtual tip jar. However, I'd much rather that you gave it to colorofchange.org. And I love you, and you are worthy, and you're amazing, and magical, real love. See you next time. You're listening to Midnight Radio Show. Oops. Almost.